Bio-nanogenomics, technical analysis, fundamental statistics, along with reviewing micro positions and the price charts. Starting off with the price action today, we bounced off of this horizontal support level sitting at 750, 760 down to 744. We validated this descending level of resistance that we have had drawn up going as far back as literally the 12th in bloody February. Bloody February, mate. That's how long it's been since we validated this level. So this is going to be an extremely strong level to watch. What does this mean? Brandon, why are you talking in a British accent, mate? Well, because we're about to break out very soon, in my opinion. Get this through your head. All right, entry points. 760 to 740. We said that, right? Get in that level. That's the important level to watch. Write it down. Draw it up on yourself. Extend this literally 7,000 years, although I actually don't, because we're going to actually be literally the all-time highs in a couple weeks. Okay. Let me stop myself there. Maybe not in a couple weeks, but we will be getting out of this range and putting this low level of support. That's going to be in the dust pretty soon, in my opinion. So if you want to get an entry point, you know where to get in. Now, how do we play the breakout? Brandon, where do we sell? Where do we add more if it dips? Where do we cut losses? Okay, in my opinion, you already know we're not cutting losses. We're holding. Okay, look at my positions. 177 at $9.61. We're getting absolutely killed. We're getting absolutely killed. All right, now don't get me wrong. I've taken profits on a little bit of this, but not really, okay? Because I am a strong believer in what they do. I was in, we played the breakout perfectly on this one. Could have taken profits. I did not. And, in hindsight, I would have. But, guys, with BioNano, you can't predict catalysts. You can't predict new prototypes of Sapphire, which they will be coming out with in 2021. Check out last video if you don't know what I'm talking about. That is actually huge news that literally this amount of people on YouTube are talking about. Zero. Literally. Okay, now, how do we play the breakout, Brandon? Now, as far as the cut losses, we're not cutting losses on BioNano unless some freaking unless the CEO retires. If the CEO resigns for BioNano, that is going to be very bad, obviously, for anyone, but especially for BioNano because Eric Holmlin is a freaking legend, firstly, but also that guy is basically single-handedly keeping my hopes up for the company as far as I shouldn't say that, but he's actually increased my confidence for the company. That's a bit more accurate assessment, I would say. Yes, but yeah, with as far as the price action in the last couple of weeks, right? It's bloody, okay. But because of the CEO and because of the news and because of the earnings report and because of the prototype in 2021, I'm not worried that much. That is why, partly, kind of why we're not cutting losses on the stock. We're holding till we get to all-time highs. And in my opinion, I'll probably be holding even if we get to all-time highs, maybe trimming a little bit off the top. But guys, playing the breakouts. When we touch this descending level again, we almost broke it today. We actually validated it 3 times perfectly today. We actually validated this 50% retracement level as well. Remember, these support levels, these Fibonacci retracement levels, right? If we go to the 4-hourly here, you can see what I'm talking about. We have this golden Fibonacci drawn up from the base of the run-up, and then we have a microscopic purple Fibonacci based on the bottom of this little correction. These levels are very important because once we break out of this descending level of resistance, yes, we have the Fibonacci. Yes, we have a couple more resistance, and we got 1,000 levels of resistance here. But guess what, guys? We had our correction. BioNano is a great company, in my opinion, and if you do some digging, I think you will be persuaded and realize that objectively, BioNano has huge potential with little risk, relatively, in my opinion. And number 3, the RSI, the indicators, technical, Bollinger Band, MACD, everything we're going to go over is not looking too bad. Speaking of that, let's do it now. Let's look at the MACD, the RSI, relative strength index on the hourly. We're looking at 48, so we're neutral. So we got plenty of space to run, right? We had our little bounce off of the bottom of the correction. Now we're kind of bleeding again. We had a pretty nice bounce yesterday. Today was a little bit of bleeding. But let's look at I want to look at the 4-hourly RSI. For the MACD especially. Now, if we zoom in here, you can actually see, even if you're on a phone, I hope you can see that, we just had the bullish confirmation, not on the daily. We've been talking about the daily for 7 years. We're not getting that yet. We are going to get that soon, though. But on the 4-hourly, we do have, if we can get to it, let's go all the way. Okay, the signal line crossed below the MACD line on the 26th, today, literally today. On the 4-hourly chart, the MACD, we did just get a bullish confirmation. What does that mean? What the heck is a bullish confirmation? This means that we are in bullish territory, or at least in a more bullish territory than we were prior to this crossover. So that is going to represent some more bullish sentiment for the stock. Does that mean you should go put your life savings into it? No, but honestly, that would not be a horrible decision, in my opinion, if you are financially stable. But of course, do your own freaking research, okay? The RSI, though, on the 4-hourly, we're looking at 42.11. Let's look at the daily RSI, though. We are literally at 42.51 on the daily. Let me go ahead and maximize that, right? Okay, 42. We got plenty of room to run. Literally, we were running when we were at like 70 on the RSI. We were making 50% or 100% gains when we were at 70 on the RSI. Now we are literally closer to being oversold than being overbought. What does that mean? 70 on the relative trend index is when you're overbought. Anything under 30 is going to be oversold. So we're at 42.51 right now. I'm getting that number right there or right there. Okay, 42.51. So let's look at some other indicators. I want to look at the exponential moving average and the moving averages on the daily chart. So the 200-day EMA, this red line right here, we have the confirmation and the golden crosses. We didn't get this anytime recently, but we still have all the golden crosses you want. Not all technically. We have a little bit of minor death crossing with these ones, but as far as the important crosses, they're all golden crosses, all bullish, right? The 200-day EMA is below the 55 and the 15-day moving averages. We're looking good now. For the Mr. Bollinger Bands, the legendary Bollinger Bands. 866 is where the middle Bollinger Band is trading at. I've told you guys before, and I actually had one person, one unwise soul, say that I was using the Bollinger Bands incorrectly, and literally I was proved exactly right. Okay, now I know there's 1,000 lines in here. You can't really barely see this, okay, but look at this middle pink Bollinger Band right here. This is where it's at, right? You can outline it basically. Let me zoom in here a little bit. Okay, that's where it is. Now, these candles, when you go above that middle Bollinger Band, you are inevitably going to come back to that middle Bollinger Band. It's just a matter of time. It's always going to happen. Whether that happens in a day or 2 weeks, that's where it's likely, or whether it happens in a year. I've never seen a year before because it's impossible, essentially. I don't know if there is one stock that's ever not touched the middle Bollinger Band in a year of trading. I doubt it, but basically, in my experience, they always come back, okay? And you can see this with any stock. Just go look at any stocks in Bollinger Bands. They always come back to the middle eventually. So right now, we are below the middle Bollinger Band. When we were above it, I said, there's a pullback that's likely. Me personally, I'm holding, and I got burned for it, right? Could have taken profits. I chose not to because BioNano is too good of a company. Catalysts are impossible to predict. But Eric Hallman is a legend. And obviously, was not expecting the correction to hit that hard or fast, right? But obviously, we came below this middle Bollinger Band. Now we are currently below, and we are not below by a ton, right? Not like this, but we are still going to be due for a correction in the upwards direction. As far as the Bollinger Bands are concerned. That's what we're looking at as far as the technicals. Taking a look at the BioNano Twitter, Dr. Something Something presented a clinical validation study of sapphire for genetic disease testing. Now, if we go over here, if we click on this, right? I clicked on that. You can go skim this if you want. It's pretty cool. But if you actually watch this, I did not watch this all, but there's your evidence for the actual study. And this is just good news. This is more of what we know, right? We know the optical genome mapping can identify things in structural variation and whatnot and everything. Okay, I'm not a freaking genetic expert. Okay, I don't claim to be a genetic expert. I understand some basics, and probably more than a lot of other investors, but not. I can't explain everything perfectly to you. Okay, but either way, guys, structural variation is more. BioNano Sapphire Systems detects structural variation in genomes more accurately, more consistently, and in a more cheap way. And it's actually cheaper than a lot of alternatives, which, look at this. She presented multiple cases where Sapphire identified several types of structural variations which had not been done on any other single platform. Okay? I mean, it's not like optical genome mapping is just some lottery ticket that you're going to scratch off and you're going to be, oh, it actually works. No, this stuff actually works. Okay, yes, it's a new thing, which is why it's got a lot of potential and why BioNano has a $200 end of year bull case. Keywords bull case price target. I don't think it's going to go $200 end of year. I think it's going to go $50 end of year, indicated by my bear case. That's my bear case. Okay, if we go over here, anyways, I'm tired. I am so tired of people saying, "Oh my gosh, $200! You're crazy. You're pumping." Okay, you're not understanding what a bull case and bear case price target is. But anyways, guys, this is bullish. I'll link this. I'll link everything. You're welcome. I'm doing 1,000 hours of work. You already know. Short volume ratio 23%. This is this is the short volume amount of shares that were traded in a short way, based on this total market volume for today, the 26th of March. So the ratio comes out to be 23%. This is not necessarily too high or too low. I guess this would be a little bit on the high side. There's not really anything to say here, though. But guys, I will say this: when we do start seeing these shorts cover, and when we break out of this descending trend line, shorts are going to cover like it's no one's business. And we are going to get, I'm not calling a GameStop short squeeze. I'm not calling that. But what I will say is that there is going to be some degree technically of a short squeeze, right? When shorts start covering and it's a domino effect because every short's trying to get out of their position immediately because it's just going to keep going higher and higher and higher, right? And especially because, and this is also especially true because these shorts, they want to cover fast. Why do we know they want to cover fast? Is that just because you're biased and you think BioNano is a great long-term position and no shorts would reasonably want to take a put or a short position long-term? Yes, actually because of that, but more because we looked at the put and call ratio long term, and it is so skewed to the call favor. It's favorable to calls, right? There's I don't know what it was, but when you go months out, 100, 200, 300 days out for the expiration dates on the option contracts, go watch the last video or the last two videos if you don't understand. Timestamps are there for everything. Okay, timestamps, you guys literally skip to wherever you want if you think I'm ranting like I am now, but it's important. So the long-term call put ratios, there's basically zero puts. There's a couple puts and there's thousands of calls, literally, okay, at least hundreds compared to double digits, a couple dozen maybe puts. What does that mean? Why does that relate to anything I'm saying? Okay, rewatch and take some notes if you don't understand how that all makes sense. But basically, people are not betting on BioNano going down long term because shorts know, they're smart enough to realize, hey, this company actually has legitimate potential. If you actually check out their website and do some reading and read the earnings reports and watch some YouTube videos on the due diligence, right? Watch some good ones. Don't go watch anyone's YouTube channel. Watch the good ones and people you trust, like me in my opinion, but that's for you to decide. But anyways, guys, so basically, long term, these people are going to cover, and not even long term. They're going to cover before the long term because these people realize, who are taking up short positions. Most of them realize BNGO is going to do great things long term, in my opinion. Insider ownership, this went down. This went down from almost 4%, actually, I believe. Obviously, I'm not worried at all. I'm not invested in BioNano because of the insider ownership, but obviously this is bearish nonetheless. I'm not gonna guys. I hope you know when I show you this stuff where it's bearish. I'm not picking and choosing. I'm not going when I do my research for these videos, which takes a while, by the way. I'm not going and saying, okay, how can I make it look what statistics and news can I put out that's bullish, right? No, you guys know I go over bearish articles. I cover the stocks on red days, right? Today is a red day. This whole week has been a red day, right? I don't care how bad my portfolio is doing, okay? I'm a long-term investor, all right? I don't care how low this goes because you guys know there's value in these videos. Whether or not I'm doing well in the day or the week is not very relevant because for me personally, this is a hyper growth portfolio, hyper growth stocks, right? But I am a long-term kind of guy when it comes to my stocks. But back to my original point, I'm not picking and choosing the most bullish statistics, right? This is a bearish statistic, right? Because this decreased from yesterday. This is insanely bearish. I mean, it's less than 1%, but it's still insanely bearish. Insiders are selling. That's not good, but obviously there's 1,000 reasons why they could this, but I'm not going to rant on that. If you want to know why insiders sometimes sell and it's sometimes not even anything to worry about, you can comment. I can comment, but I don't want this video to be 1,000 hours. 4% institutional ownership. I don't care about institutional ownership that much, but nonetheless, this is low, nonetheless. So that is something to keep in mind. I just want to show you guys something. This is not really anything crazy here. I'll link this. This is BioNano's website. I want to show you a tool that not many people know about as far as investing. That's one of the things I try to do. I try to give you guys unorthodox information and opinions and sources that in my opinion, you're never going to see any of the stuff that I cover on anyone else's channel, in my opinion. Not a chance. Not a chance. Unless they start copying me, which I've seen a couple people try to do. But guys, BioNano's website is an example of why we like the company. It's a reason as to why this is a legit company. Now, of course, a website does not determine if it's a good company. A website is not a good enough source for you to judge your entire investing decision on. But one thing you can do that no one else is going to tell you is go to a company's website. Not only should you judge how professional and how good the website actually is, but you should actually go in here and read this stuff, okay? Just click on investors, right? And then just go and freaking read everything that you can, especially the earnings reports. And anything, and for BioNano, anything they put on their Twitter usually is pretty good. All right, some of the stuff is a little repetitive. Like how many times have we seen them say structural variation study? They've seen that a lot. We've seen that a lot, but it's good information, right? So current positions, everything's the same. I added a little bit of Mara today, I believe, but price starts for BioNano $10 April 7th, $50 into your bear case, into your bull case 100 to 200. There we go. Relevant information. In regards to the tutorial, finish now. Feel free to kick off your more important things to do this pod, do stuff most easy to do in the first, boys, seconds, plus cool stuff as well. auspiciousbusiness.com. That's our new website. Everything's good on there. If you go on there expecting some like, oh my gosh, I bet there's some cool. I don't know what you would be expecting, honestly, but you probably don't expect much of me anyway. But anyways, guys, there's some cool stuff on there, but just don't expect like something insane. Like if you check the description and the comments on every video, there's not really much new stuff on there, but it's really cool. If you have ideas for the channel, please go there and check all the different pages. Right when you go, like for example, it's going to look, I mean, it's not going to look similar to this, but it's going to look a little similar. Just check all the different pages on here that are on the top right. On my website, I believe they're on the top right. Yeah, this took a ton of time for me to do, so please check that out. Just give it a skim. There's not a ton of crazy stuff in there, but there's some cool information and sources that I think you should be able to take advantage of. It's if you use the free stock link, it's free stocks for both of us. Reddit helps both of us. There's some other cool stuff on there that I'm forgetting now. Okay, Patreon. There's a ton of other stuff on there. Anyway, I'll let you guys figure out the rest of it. Auspiciousbusiness@yahoo.com. That's when you send your serious suggestions or emails, or you can just go to the website and just send your questions there. That's a cool way too. And yeah, I'm going to link this. Oh, you can just type it in. It's really easy to remember, but it's going to be linked, comments, everything. I'm going to hook you guys up with everything on this video. It's going to take 5 hours to edit, probably. Auspiciousbusiness@yahoo.com, right? That's where you want to send your emails. Success is never going to change our business model. Deeds will not be less valiant because they are unpraised. Remember this quote when you do something that you feel like is not really recognized and no one cares, but it's a really valiant thing that you did. Anyways, this is not financial advice, guys. Thank y'all so much. See you on the next one.